Play.
Hi folks, welcome to Knife Maker Training. I'm Ed Caffrey, ABS Mastersmith. Today we're going to do a quick video on the sanding sticks that Tim just brought out, the double-handled, the original, and the XL. And I'm going to give you a few pointers about them and how to use them and all that. Real quick, here we have, well actually Tim will show you, the original. This is the original dual handle. Notice size difference. And then of course this is the dual XL with the larger sanding surfaces. Okay, one of the reasons that personally I like this stick better than the others is I'm like a hog and I get on stuff, and when I start putting a lot of pressure on things, with the original sanding stick I can put my thumbs in on it, of course keep your hands out of the way, and I can put as much pressure with my thumbs as I want, and notice how I can keep it sanding on a flat plane.
And the handle at that point in time is just basically just so he has something a little extra to grip onto, but
that's neat.
It's not a point of pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while here's the plus on the XL, or I should say the original double handle, you actually have, as long as you're careful and keep your fingers inside the handle, you've actually got kind of a block. You know, it's gonna, if you're sanding along and you happen to screw up a little bit, you're not gonna run your knuckles into the edge of a blade. So that's a big plus. What you have to be cautious with on the original double handled,
especially,
is if you get overzealous, watch.
It will bend, it will warp.
You can make it flex slightly. What that equates to is if you're on your workpiece, all of your pressure's on the extended ends of the handle, you'll bow that.
Yeah.
And so what'll happen is you'll be sanding along, and as you notice,
you'll round out your area.
You can actually see it really well right in here. I'm sanding here and here, but I'm missing the middle. And that's coming from me placing too much pressure down.
Yeah.
So with the original double handle, you know, it's kind of, we always have a give and take in everything we do in knife making.
Yep.
The give and take here is the fact that you get a lot of protection, but you have to be cautious with your down pressure.
Yeah.
What I would recommend you do is with the original sanding stick, the original double handle, put your thumbs in the middle. That way you've got more pressure, but you still got the protection of these handles.
And the comfort of the handles.
Yeah, the handles actually make it a lot nicer to sand with. You know, it's not so painful.
Yeah.
Now, that same technique being said, one of the big pluses with the dual XL sanding stick is, look at this. I can reef on it and I can't bend it. So you've got enough mass in here that you can apply a lot of down pressure and never worry about flexing the stick so that you're not sanding flat. And if I didn't mention it, these are all flats that I'm sanding on. And so the flatter I can keep it, the better.
Yep, absolutely. And then once again, like we've said before with the other sticks, these sticks are made specifically so you can save a lot of material. Every time that Ed rips one of these little pieces off, he's ripping off only the amount that he's used on this flat. And then secondly to that, they are really well just on the flat. You don't want to put them up on an edge. You can.
They're not really meant to come. What'll happen on an edge, if you come up here on a sharp cornered edge, and I'll just make a couple of runs, but then you look at your sandpaper.
Yeah.
What you're doing is you're cutting through probably 3 layers of sandpaper.
Yeah, and you're wasting the material.
Because you can see underneath where it's cut through.
Yep.
And so it's digging into the next layer.
Yep.
And if you're going to do that, you know, yeah, you can do anything you want to do.
There's other ways to do that, though.
But just be careful. You know, go nice and easy and soft. Anytime you hit real sharp corners, things like that, anything with sanding, you just want to lighten pressure and be soft.
And the same thing about bringing the blade of the sanding stick up on its edge as well. Just be gentle with it. You can totally bring it up on its edge, but it will dull the blade of the sanding stick itself.
Well, and one of the things all the way back, going back to the original sanding stick.
Yeah, especially our version 1s.
The reason that these are built in this triangle format is so you can get into places that you couldn't otherwise.
Yeah.
You know, I can use any of these corners to get right up into my plunge cuts. Sand out any and all the little boogers in the plunge cuts. And then if I really want to get tight, you go to the sharp end of the sharp corner, and you can literally roll it up into the plunge cut.
Yep.
And if you notice, I don't have square plunge cuts, I have radiused, so it makes it a lot nicer for me to do it that way. Once again, just to recap what we talked about, this is just a short little grab on advising you what to do and what not to do with these sanding sticks. Probably the big takeaway here is on this, and I actually think this is a screaming version. I like this little bugger. You know, you just have to be careful about not putting a whole lot of pressure when you're sanding.
Yeah.
And if you intend to do that, use your thumbs for your pressure. Try not to do it with your hands. I haven't tried to do it yet, and I'm not going to, but I think if a guy really reefed hard on this,
you could break it.
You might be able to pop it.
Yes. It's the same strength as the other original sanding stick, the single blade, but the difference is you're giving yourself a lot more leverage on these outer corners.
Yep.
So keep the weight on the inside and use those outer corners for comfort.
Yep, just use that as grip and keep your thumbs on the interior. And it's not unlike any of you guys who have used the original sanding stick.
Yeah.
You know, the original sanding stick was intended just to have your thumbs in here.
And then the extra handle was just for that little bit of extra grip and control.
Yep. And they're all going to work, you know, the double-handled original is going to work the same as the original stick. You just got to be careful not to warp it, and so you don't sand highs and lows.
And finally, we do want to say a humongous thank you to all the wonderful people who bought from us, because truth be told, a bunch of guys are saying that we're making hand sanding more fun again, which is really great because we know how sucky it is. So thank you very much for letting us know that. That's quite a compliment. We appreciate it.
Amen to that. And yeah, I mean, this is just for a heads up too. I'll have some sanding sticks with me down at the Blade Show this year, and yes, I'm going to try to go again. Things are getting, I won't say better in the medical realm for me, but at least I'm up doing things now. And so my table's paid for, my hotel reservations are made. And
his beautiful assistant will be there.
Yep, Cindy's going with me to square me away and keep me on the straight and narrow. So anyway, if you guys have any questions or comments about any of the sanding sticks or any of the other products that KMT offers, give Tim a shout, give me a shout. I'll answer what I can. What I can, I'll direct to Tim.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we really appreciate your support and thank you for it. And hopefully we'll see you again soon with another video on KMT. Thanks so much.